Also, yesterday I checked my phone, checked all my notifications in bed, and it didn't lead to a good start to the day. So I'm gonna try not make that mistake and wait until I change and get into the office and then check my phone. All right, just got to the office, changed. Yeah, this morning I did something a bit different. I really was just meditating in bed. When I felt like I should open up my blanket, I'd do it. When I felt it was the right time to take off my sock, I'll do it. And I just sort of like not forcing things, just doing things how I felt. And it wasn't following my emotions because my emotions wanted me to get that dopamine and check my notifications, go through my phone, but I was just following what my heart and what felt right. 2:20 p.m. This is the latest I've ever woken up. Even on days when I went clubbing, etc., it'd never be this late. Cool, yesterday's vlog got edited, 36 clips. Cool. 2:20. I feel good. That was a really good start. Like I woke up very groggy, but I feel like that was a really good start. 2:20. Today's the 3rd. Nice. Still the beginning of the month. It feels like it's like a fresh full month with a lot of opportunities ahead. I still got my goal that says $30,000 a month by August. I guess we're not there. I don't know where $30,000 is going to come from, but let's just keep manifesting, and if it fails, fails, but let's follow through to the end. Let me go ahead and check my checklist. It's good that I have a checklist because you wake up, you do things, you don't know where to start. Start time, login, laptop, click me up, post reels. I probably want to check my notifications first. Okay, make sure everything is okay. I have anxiety when I check notifications. Okay, let's check it together. Okay, Ed sent me something. The reply to Ed, oh my god, you're in the know. I'll check my notifications and I'll tell you if there's anything interesting. I got an offer for $50 for, a vintage muscle tank. Damn. This is something I bought in the Philippines for like probably $4 or $5. And someone offered me $50. That's crazy. Let's accept the offer. That's so cool. Yeah, I remember buying it for like $4 maybe, $3. And they give it to you in like a newspaper wrapping because they don't do plastic. And someone just offered $50, which is insane. All right, let me just accept that offer. Oh wow, the person is in England. That's crazy. So that's sort of why I like allowing and opening up for international. Okay, so I messaged the group chat for the snow trip. Damn, I've got so many messages. Damn. Okay, let me go to because I have Instagram on my laptop. So one of the group chats asked if I'm going to do City to Surf, and I'm only doing it because I want to help pace my friend. And okay, the mic is working, yay. Previously, I would have been like a bit direct and be like, hey, are you still running it? I know I promised I'll pace you, just double checking. But that seems to maybe trigger people. So I now sort of put myself in their shoes and think of the outcome that is the least amount of friction versus trying to treat people how I'd want to be treated. For example, I have another friend who also wants to do City to Surf. How I'd want to be treated is I'd want to let him know that, hey, just a heads up, I'm like 50-50 on City to Surf. I'm not too sure I'm going to do it. Because I want to let people know. But doing that, we're just like, now he's confused and now he's annoyed that I'm not on the fence and it causes a lot of friction. Versus if I just didn't say anything, waited until he reached out, I was like, hey Andy, are you still doing City Surf? And if it's the day, like a few days before, then I'll tell him, hey, I'm not too sure right now with work. I'm going to make a decision the night before. That response, even though I personally that would put me in a sort of pickle. I don't, like, it's like now I'm like unsure if that person's going to come through or not. Now I'm sort of at mercy of this person. For some reason, that is, I'm going to look less bad when I go down that route. It's hard to explain. Another one of my friends, he's in a family business, and as a result, he just listens to everything his dad says, even when it comes to finding a partner, who to marry, what to do, what to study. Like, he doesn't feel like he's in control. At least you made the decision to marry despite what your family believed and told you. That was your own decision that you got to make. Thank you, kind sir. Chat soon. Andrew sent me $50 for helping him with making this sticker. It's a pretty easy job. I just think how, like, the chat soon strategy, it's a great way to, I think people like when they hear that. It's like, hey, thank you so much, chat soon. even if you have no intention of chatting soon. Cool. So that's all my notifications. Let's go ahead and do the posting for the day. There's some social media platforms that have been like just failing for me recently, like Threads, Facebook. Facebook used to be really good for me, but for some reason the viral videos I'm uploading are just flopping. But I know that that's why I upload on 8 platforms, because at any given time, some platforms will do better than others. Like, there'll be a time that YouTube starts failing and then Facebook, for whatever reason, starts doing really well. Instead of it ebbs and flows like that. TikTok is crushing it recently. Dude, 2,000 likes. Crazy. 10 followers, 2,000 likes, insane. Yeah, TikTok is also crushing it recently. So yeah, realize that that's part of my strategy. Diversifying, uploading on many different platforms so that I'm not stressed when one platform doesn't perform well. That's what diversification means. I found a better way to word it. Rather than treating people how I'd want to be treated, treat people in the way where I will look the best. Do the thing that makes me look like a good guy from their perspective. Because when I treat them and do what I think is the right thing, a lot of the times it doesn't lead to me looking like the good guy. It leads to me looking like the bad guy. So yeah. From now on, all my friends will just get the best version of me, the charismatic version of me. And only one or two, a handful, will get the honest, truthful version of me. Because the honest, truthful version of me just leads to a bunch of friction, conflict, animosity. Yeah. In my dream, I had a dream about finding my new people at the 200 frequency. I just remembered that was in my dream. Like I was like, wow, I finally found the next group of people at this new chapter of my life. We'll see if that dream comes into fruition. So whenever there are things that I don't like to wear anymore, like for example this vest, I go ahead and take a bunch of photos, I give it to a team member and they list it on eBay for me to sell. So let me take those photos. So I'm going to show you how I sort of sell this jacket. I usually take photos first. Let me vacuum the floor before I lay it on the floor. So quickly vacuum the floor. There's good natural sunlight. All right, let me take it off. I already took photos of it being worn. So now I sort of zip it up. And like with old clothing like this, I just call it vintage. And by calling it vintage, you can sell it for like $100. Oh damn, I think I stuffed up the zipper. Oh, nice. Okay. Cool, lay it out. Yeah, I'll show you. Let me angle the camera downwards so you can see me take photos. There you go. So in e-commerce, it's all about the photos. That's why going the extra effort to take photos of me wearing it, that's going to increase the value. Like it'll make it easier to sell. Good lighting as well. Good natural lighting. I don't even know what's under here. The more photos, the better. Then I also like to give photos of the measurement. This saves me time. Plus it also prevents any refunds. If people refund and say, hey, it didn't fit me, I'm like, that's why I provided photos of the exact sizing so that this problem would not happen. So it puts it on them. And then once I do all these photos, I have a team member trained on eBay, and yeah, she just lists it for me. And we use like Gemini to come up with the title and description, and we have a template that we follow. And I'll probably list this for like $150, and then someone's gonna offer like 70, and I'll just take it. So like if you wanna sell it for 70, list it for 150. It's pretty cool. Sometimes as I'm taking photos of it, I'm like, oh man, FOMO, I might want to keep it, but I have too many clothes. I need to show the tearing on the inside. Man, I tore this when I was like having an elastic band and I was doing stretches, and it just, yeah, it ripped the insides. So sad. Because this is a, yeah, reversible jacket. Yeah, we'll do the reverse way anyways. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Vintage reversible jacket. That's how I'm gonna market it as. Oh man, I missed this side. This side was a clean side, but all the tears on the back. I need to take some photos of it of me wearing it on this side. Yeah, the back just makes it look ugly because of the rips. All right, let me go ahead and wear it reversed and take some photos, because this is actually arguably the nicer side. Okay, so let me go to my mirror. Probably have to take off my mic. Okay, here's my wardrobe mirror. Here you go. I'll detach my mic for a bit. Put my microphone here. You can still sort of hear me. Yeah, let me take some photos. No, it doesn't fit me as well, so there's no regret with selling it. Crap. Damn. Why did I drop? Yeah, it's okay. It's a bit too puffy on the bottom, so I don't mind selling it. I need to clean my mirror as well. Cool, that's it. Hope I didn't break this mic. Good lighting as well. I'll probably $50. Man, I I had. Of me wearing it. Damn. I need to clean the mirror because it's getting dusty. And it affects the photos I take. Oh wow, that made a huge difference. It's just a lot of dust, I guess. Yeah, it's just a lot of dust. Today's vlog is gonna feel a bit shorter because it's already 4 p.m. Felt like it's either one I was so productive and the 2 hours or the 1.5 hours of work flew by, or two, yeah, 1.5 hours isn't that much of work, but this is just the first session. I'm probably gonna work more at night. Today maybe will be give me a good chance to sleep early. We'll see. Wow, I'm so clear. That's crazy. All right, let's wrap up the day. The first half of the day. I'm realizing how vulnerable daily vlogging is because you're sharing your honest thoughts live. Whereas when I used to post with like a 6-month delay buffer, I could just say, hey, that was just me 6 months ago. But all these clips that people are seeing, this video they're seeing, it's like what I'm currently going through. So daily vlogging is a very large amount of vulnerability and transparency. Even with streaming where it's live and there isn't any editing, streaming you're sort of putting on an act, a persona. You're not really vulnerably sharing your personal day-to-day. It's like a 2-hour work segment, whereas I'm vlogging my whole day and sharing all my thoughts, and I'm not doing any editing. But I think if I do this correctly, it's going to lead to the largest amount of personal growth. All right, let's use my AI coach to give me today's workout. There's a beautiful sunset. It's currently 4:41 p.m. I don't know, I have to stretch, so I don't know if I'll be able to get out in time, but it might be raining tonight. I see some dark clouds, but yeah, what should I do today? So that is me talking to my AI coach. We'll see what I get prescribed today. Yeah, yesterday was a tough day. I was just so slowed down, not motivated. Today I just really took it slow and steady. It was a much shorter day. I literally started at 2:20 p.m. so I've only worked for 2.5 hours. I'll exercise, I'll have dinner, and then I'll probably put in a second work session. But I think the last few days I've been working so much and I've been trying to adapt to the new daily vlogging system, and I've now adapted and I'm on top of all my editors. I have a really nice organized system, like should hopefully be cruisy from here. Yesterday I felt like I was drowning from all this work, but today I feel good. This too shall pass. It literally happened, you guys saw it. It's quite interesting how you saw the clip from me getting out of bed, just groggy, tired, headache, and I just slowly worked through the day, and now I'm feeling pretty good. My brain doesn't feel that foggy at all. Okay, 4:44. Let's exercise, have dinner, and then get back to work and wrap up the day. It's Monday, feeling pretty good. And I'm very happy. Like I'm feeling joy again. Yeah, the last few days have just been a grind, and maybe it's a sleep, I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling good. And you guys have watched and seen the whole journey over the last few days. It'd be cool where, imagine I create like a weekly vlog. I combined all 6 days together and do one long 5-6 hour weekly vlog. And I create clips with that whole context, but let's not jump too far ahead. Let's just get into the current routine. Let's settle in the current routine. It's my ADHD kicking in where I just want that constant pain, that constant fight. But I need to learn to settle in once I've adapted and not constantly look for commotions. All right, let me do some cat cows. I was playing some R&B, some Chris Brown, Kid Laroi, Drake. But I'm like, it's a bit too chaotic for this calm, peaceful state I'm feeling. So let's just play some classical Zen. That's nicer. Oh, I just smiled. This is like an old MapleStory soundtrack. It's so nostalgic. I used to be so addicted to MapleStory. It was like my whole life in my teens. So this is so nostalgic, this song. All right, let's keep working out. I noticed the classical music helps me also reduce the amount of doom scrolling I do. Because I can see how when I was listening to hip hop, R&B, I'll just be looking for more dopamine and I'll doom scroll. I was scrolling a bit, but something soothing about the classical music. I was just like, you know what, let me stop doom scrolling and let me do the ankle circles. Yeah, I still have a problem and addiction with social media. I'm not scrolling as much. You know what I'm doing? I'm doom refreshing. That's the thing I'm doing. I'm not scrolling at all. I'm just like constantly checking my notifications, seeing if I'm getting more views. That's what I'm addicted to now, because I'm not consuming content at all. But I feel today I'm more peaceful. And ironically, it required the storm, the chaotic last few days, the late nights to wake up this morning and be like, you know what, I'm groggy, I'm tired. Let me just feel how I feel and move with the universe. So it's crazy how peace comes from chaoticness. That's ankle circles. It's quite interesting how now I'm having to do the cool approach, sort of be the cool guy that rocks up late, doesn't reply, doesn't take initiative to plan the event. Whereas previously I was doing the opposite of all those things. I was a people pleaser. I treated people how I wanted to be treated. But that didn't work out. So now I'm having to resort to just being the cool guy, doing the thing that ironically I wouldn't like, people subconsciously may not like, but the everyday person somehow will respect or appreciate or value me much more when I take that approach. Doing these wrist rocks, warming up my wrists for some handstand drills. Doing 6 sets of these, this is the 5th one. I do try to speak to fill in the silence, but I don't want to unnecessarily speak. Like I want to do the David Cho ability where he has this ability to ramble on in a way where it's like, you're like sucked in. So let me share an example. Like an example would be, I am pacing my friend for City to Surf this Sunday. To be honest, I can't tell if she's still gonna do it because she's a bit injured. And I can't even tell if she wants me to pace her. Like, I'm only doing it because I want to help and be a good friend. Because if it wasn't for that, I think I might not want to go. I just want to stay home and work on Sunday, but I promised. So I want to stick to my word. But I don't want to pace her to only find out that she didn't really need me and she was happy to run on her own. So I have all this confusion, and the old me would have wanted to reach out and be like, hey, just double checking, just because I'm confused right now, you would appreciate if I help pace you, right? But based on track record, I know that type of response, questioning, people don't like it. It puts them in a spot. They don't want to ask for help. Their ego is sort of a bit, they want to say, no, it's fine. Like, it's sort of like my mum. She doesn't like it when I ask if she needs help. That actually triggers her. She just wants me to help her. But I don't want to help her to find out that she didn't need my help. So the old approach would have been treat people how I would want to be treated. Like, if I had a lack of clarity, I just want that person to ask me so I can share how I actually feel. But I realize that I'm different and a lot of people don't think the way I do. And that the quote unquote cool approach would just be, don't stress about it, don't worry about it, go about my day over the next week. And then the night before, if I still get no response, no messages from my friend, then I can safely assume that she doesn't need me and don't show up. And if she's like, hey Andy, where are you? I was like, dude, you didn't freaking message me or say anything for the whole week, so I just assumed you didn't need me. And then if she's like, hey, what's the plan? And if she sends that the night before, I'll step up even with little notice, even without being able to do bag drop. I'll figure out how to make it work for her. And I'll show up the next day as I promised. And in the future, I should stop and not promise things and only offer help when asked. But being me, I can read, like I was offering help that I knew was wanted, but she was a bit too shy to ask. So yeah, that's more context on what I meant earlier behind me wanting to stop treating people how I'd want to be treated and just treat people how they'd want me to treat them. I'm not too sure what's happening, but I paused the classical music because I just felt like my brain was sort of, going on overdrive. It didn't, there was just too much going on in my brain. It's already chaotic enough. I'm gonna do some pike push-ups. But I just wanted to share how I paused the music. So I went from R&B to classical to just working out in silence. I think I'm feeling a sense of peace as I'm here and exercising in silence, and the music was just adding unnecessary dopamine. It feels like you're on a come down after going to a rave, after doing some MDMA, and then you do some more MDMA just to get to baseline, and it's this weird, you're like pushing, you're forcing dopamine out. So that's what it feels like right now with the music, whereas I just want to peacefully sit in the calm. I've noticed that the addiction from checking my notifications on these viral videos that I'm posting that are getting a ton of views and comments is more addicted than doom scrolling. I haven't doom scrolled in a long time. Most of my time is just refreshing YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. That's the new addiction that I'm gonna solve. Now that I'm self-aware of this addiction, I will solve it. Just like how I was not happy with my addiction on doom scrolling and that's been solved, I need to solve my addiction with content consumption during dinner. That's another thing I need to kick and just learn to eat in silence. I guess the first step is learning how to exercise in silence, right? And not check my notifications all the time while exercising. It's crazy, despite sleeping at 5:30 a.m. 2 days ago, I got 89% efficiency and I got 3 hours and 15 minutes of REM and deep. 3 hours and 20 minutes. That's really impressive. Like it's just all deep and REM sleep. Let's check yesterday. Oh, yesterday's sleep was not as good. Slept at 6 a.m., woke up at 2 p.m. The efficiency was down to 83%. But REM plus deep, I still got nearly 3 hours. So like despite having a really wacky sleep schedule, I'm getting 3 hours of restorative sleep, which is very, very impressive. I've been making a lot of mistakes lately. Like that last workout, I did some handstand holds against the wall and I forgot to hit the segment button. So that workout should have been segment 18. But since I forgot to press it, it got combined into segment 17. So the rest and transition time merged into that workout. So it ended up being like a 4-minute segment, but I only sort of did the handstands for 25 seconds. I was a bit frustrated and annoyed, but I sort of just let it go. I was like, oh, let me write down that I combined it. So I went straight to the solution. Let me write it down. It's a mistake. It's okay. And I just sort of let it go. But I do find myself doing more and more mistakes. I think the universe is teaching me to sort of let it go. Because if I do, like when I look at my mentor, he is doing like 100 different things every day. He's consistently making mistakes, losing his license, divorce case, whatever. But he has 100 things not going well, but then he also has 10,000 things going right. So if I want more wins, I'm going to have to get really comfortable with the losses. All right, I'm going to do some bent over barbell rows. This is sort of one of my favorite workouts. Give you some B-roll to play with. My AI clipper isn't smart enough. It only edits based on audio, but eventually AI will get smart enough where it can visually go through the whole episode and make edits. But until then, this probably won't make any clips. One, two, steady. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that was hard. I tried to sort of have really good form. But yeah, good form is not that easy. Slow and steady like that. Being very steady with it is not as easy as it looks. Got 2 more sets of that. During these work breaks, I have this urge to swipe down, check my notifications, refresh social media, see if I got more views, but I'm not going to do that on this break. So I was just thinking how addictions, it just takes one small step at a time. I think they've done a study where every time someone stopped or quit smoking, the next time they quit, it went longer and longer and longer. So if they failed the second time, the third time, the fourth time, each time they try to quit again, it increases the chance of them finally quitting. And I think that's how I treat addictions. Well, I guess smoking is an addiction, but I'm going to try eat in silence tonight. If I can't, I'll try tomorrow. I'll try for 2 days straight, fail after 2 days. I'll try again. I just need to keep trying and eventually I'll break these addictions. And just me simply talking to you and not checking my phone on this set, whereas every single set prior to this, I was checking my notifications. I feel happy, like it's a step forward. All right, let's move on to the second set, and maybe the next set I'll also not check my notifications. I notice I sometimes mumble my words. Like I want to say each word with clarity and not merge all my words. All right, second break. Again, not checking my notifications. I feel more happy, more fulfilled already. I don't feel like a rat constantly clicking that button for dopamine. A thought I just had was that because I give so much value to those in my life, if by me being me, it upsets them and I lose them as a friend, they're the one that's losing out, not me. And because I have this setup, people in my life, they sort of have to put in effort to keep me in their lives, because I give more than I take. And to keep someone like me in your life, you gotta suck up to me. Obviously, as a people pleaser, I end up sucking up to them, but I want to do that much, much less and realize the value I bring to the table. Forcing myself to not doom scroll in between reps forces me to film more content, and that's sort of what I want to do anyways. I want to film way, way more content, and yeah, I can kill two birds with one stone. Quit the dopamine-induced scrolling, notification checking, film more content, and this itself is more fulfilling. And as I film more content, I'll have more content to post, I'll get more notifications, but I won't check it. And since I won't check it, I get to share more thoughts. As I share more thoughts, I grow personally, I get more disciplined. And as I get more disciplined, I create more content. And because I create more content and I'm more disciplined, I create even more content. So I'm creating this beautiful self-improving flywheel effect. All right, let's move on to the third set. The second set, I rushed the first 3 reps because I forgot to do a 3-second release. So let me not make that mistake this time around. Another thing I need to start being more conscious of is, as I start vlogging my whole life, I need to stop filming like outside my house or the street I'm on, because people can then figure out where I live. So I need to be a lot more careful there. Like if I think of all the daily vloggers, they don't film anywhere near their home, so you have no idea where they live. So I need to be more careful. But it's pretty cool how I'm learning as I'm going, and me talking, one, reaffirms that lesson, and it's like, okay, now I'll consciously remember next time I film outside my house to not do that. 2, I get to create a piece of content. 3, I get to document me learning. Man, I'm loving this daily vlogging. Out of bad habit, I accidentally checked my notification. I saw an email, I checked the email. I saw that I needed to submit to them a bunch of things they're requesting from me, and now it's at the back of my mind. That's why checking notifications is so unhealthy, because you're just creating unfinished loops, and that's what causes mental stress and exhaustion. Like now I have this freaking task from this potential client that is unfinished. Like I can't do anything about it because I'm exercising right now. A reminder on why checking notifications is bad. All right, let's do some push-ups. Man, I want to speak more clearly. Like I naturally have a more softer, calming, soothing voice, but I think as a result, it sounds like all my words merge together. This is something I'll fix over time. As I sit in my 75-second rest after finishing those 10 push-ups, before my next set of 10, I feel that urge to just check my notifications, refresh TikTok notifications. I'm learning to just let go and don't beat myself up for checking my notifications just then. Remind myself what I told you guys earlier, how each time I quit, there's going to be a higher chance that this time it'll be the final time that I quit forever. So I just need to keep quitting again and again and again. All right, let's go into the second set of push-ups. Man, I'm starting to get paranoid because I film and show you guys everything with no editing. I'm like, what if someone freaking stalks me? I think I have faith future Andy will figure it out then. I'll make more conscious efforts to be more protective of maybe personal things. I was just thinking of how another thing I want to do less of is correcting people. Sometimes, not even correcting, but showing people how they might be wrong. Being like, hey, because I've done this for you, the least you could have done is X. People don't like to be told that. Even if you're right and they're wrong, people don't want to be shown that they're wrong, selfish, narcissistic. Let them be. Do things not expecting them to do something in return. Or be very clear from the start, being like, hey, if I provide you this, I'm going to need you to do this. So on my end, I shouldn't be let down when, because for me, sometimes it seems so obvious. Like, for example, I have a mentor. He gives and teaches me so many things that when he needed me to help plan a scuba diving trip for an overseas friend, I did it, paid, planned everything. And they offered to pay me back, but I was like, no, don't worry, I got it. Because they cover me in so many other ways. Whereas most people would have been like, hey, can you refund me on the scuba diving tickets I bought for you? Like, I think I move at such high frequency, meaning like I give a lot, I reciprocate a lot, I have good memory, that I can't relate to the everyday person that doesn't do the same thing. And it's like, why didn't you do that? Like, I got you free food, the least you can do is reciprocate with what I asked you to do. So I've been talking in a lot of code words because I'm worried and concerned that the people I'm talking about may see the clip and get offended. But because I'm talking in code word, my great-grandkids, you guys, don't really understand what I'm trying to say because I'm unable to sort of give clear examples and share exactly what I'm trying to convey because I'm self-censoring myself because I'm scared that a friend might watch it and I'm talking about them and they might be disappointed. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start talking less self-centered, tangibly give the real scenarios that I'm talking about, and the low chance that they watch the content and they see the clips. One, I'm speaking from the heart and I'm not bad-mouthing anyone, so they can't really be offended. Two,
it ironically gives them a chance to learn from their mistakes that I'm calling them out on. And three, if they're watching my content, they care about me, they want to be in my life, so I want them to hear that truth. Most people won't be watching all these clips and they won't see what I'm talking about. So they won't even see it. Yeah. And this shirt is such a nice fitting shirt. This is a Uniqlo t-shirt. So I'm on my notes app and I'm putting in the results from the last workout, and I find myself just naturally going to the top and wanting to pull down to check my notifications, and I stop myself. And I record this to distract me. This is such a great way to wean off my addiction. Just talk about my feelings and my urges. But let's practice what I talked about last night, seeing the silver lining in things. This vlogging is allowing me to create amazing content as I'm trying to kick an addiction. And you guys get to sort of see the human struggle and see that, hey, even though I'm successful and I have all these cool things and cool life, I'm a human just like you. So that's the silver lining, because I was like, oh, I'm starting to sound a bit negative, but it's actually a positive. As I'm moving into this no more treating people how I'd want to be treated, no more people pleasing era, I think another thing I might stop is running up to people I see in public that I know and be like, hey John, how you been? Because I really appreciate it when I'm going about my day, someone spots me, they go out of their way to come up to me and say hi. Like, I really appreciate that. So I try to give people that same pleasure. So when I spot people, I'll go up to them and be like, hey man, how you been? But a lot of people don't do that. Like, if they saw me, they might be shy or they can't be bothered going up and saying hi. Like, unless we're walking directly towards each other. So I think I'm gonna stop. Yeah, running up to people that I know and saying hi. Ironically, as I stop being a people pleaser, because you please people so that they like you. But ironically, by stopping all my people pleasing activities, I think those people would want my energy and time even more, ironically. The world happens in this weird opposite way. Like, as I'm not being a people pleaser, I don't know, I might come off as cool, sort of in my own world, sort of nonchalant, whatever these words may be. And ironically, people then are attracted to that even more than the version of me that's like super kind, bubbly. Yeah. I think hopefully eventually it's tough because the other approach is like, keep doing you, keep doing what you like, and you'll be able to attract someone that is similar to you. Like, if I eventually want to meet someone that's just like me in these traits, like that's someone I'd want to be with. It's going to be hard to attract that person if I'm suppressing this side of me. Let me think about this dilemma. Do I stop being the treat people how I'd like to be treated version of me and treat people very, very good where they take me for granted so that I can attract someone that doesn't take it for granted? Or do I be charismatic, nonchalant, cool to everyone? I think the answer is you go case by case. With certain friends that I know appreciate me, I'll run up and say hi, give them a big giant hug. For those that are also too cool, quote unquote cool, don't give them that pleasure. Just give them what they give you. Like, I know that if they saw me, they wouldn't run up to me and say hi. They'd probably just keep walking their own way. So I should do the exact same. So I guess the answer is meet everyone where they're at. And the thing is, I'm like, oh, but what if I meet them at this low frequency What if my dream girl is walking with them? Well, the chances are, if they're at a low frequency, my dream partner is going to be nowhere near them or in that vicinity, and it's going to be fine. I'm not going to detract my dream partner by meeting them at that low frequency because my partner's going to be nowhere near that person. All right, one more set of dead bug, and then I'll do some recovery. All right, my friend Ed is calling me. You can say hi. Hey Ed, say hi to the vlog.
Yo,
Say hi to the vlog.
what's up? I can see. Yeah. What
I'm
up?
I'm currently just about to finish my exercise. I'm not finished yet, but yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. You can. Yeah, you need to finish off.
I'll finish off the workout. I have to do some
What's the?
dead bugs, and then actually I'll call you back in 3 minutes. I'll finish the dead bugs, and I sort of have to lie down and elevate my legs, and I'll have like 10 minutes to chat.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll call you
Yeah.
back in a bit.
Alright.
Bye.
Listen.
That was a good solution. My people pleasing side of me kicked in. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to hang up. But yeah, I need to solve my issue of calling and chatting for too long. So let me do the dead bugs first. Let me practice what I preach. So before talking to Ed and calling him back, the previous me would just go on and ramble and talk about the things I want to talk about and just talk at the frequency 200, speak at the language I like to speak at. And because Ed is it's sort of like Ed understands Mandarin. And because he understands Mandarin, I just start talking Shanghainese. And he sort of ish understands, but we're both like, I'm forcing out Shanghainese and he's like sort of trying to keep along, and it's just me being selfish. It's like, oh, it is fine. I can just, he lets me be me. That's why I enjoy talking to him. But as a result, there is that mistranslation, that friction. Whereas I have other friends that speak, this is a metaphor by the way, but they speak French. I know that there's no point speaking Shanghainese to them because they're not going to understand it at all. So let's practice what I preach, and let me tap into Ed's frequency and let me speak his language and be the most charismatic version of me. Like, I want to show up the best version. And I just realized that since it takes more out of me, like if I was speaking Shanghainese and just being myself, I could talk to Ed for like hours and hours. Or I can give him a 10-minute concentrated dose of me and just meet him at his frequency and really make him feel seen over these 10 minutes. So let's do that. Yeah, I probably won't record it. I think if I put myself in his shoes, probably would prefer not to record it. So let me turn off the camera and I'll see you in 10 minutes, hopefully. All right, that was like a 16-minute chat with Ed. I was really happy. That went exactly as well as it could be. One, I wrapped it up. It was supposed to go for 10 minutes. It went for 16 minutes, but that's fine. But I cut it as Ed arrived home and I finished my workout and sort of recovery. I was, yeah, like I found like a nice fine line. I was able to meet Ed at where he is and talk about the things that he enjoys and not go too deep as I usually like to, and not drag the conversation on. Yeah. I think I maybe went a bit too deep. There was like something that I went a bit deeper than usual, but I sort of took a step back quickly, which is fine. Sometimes I go down these rabbit holes. And the rabbit hole is supposed to add context to the 175 frequency thing I'm talking about, but sometimes it seeps into 200 frequency zone. But yeah, feeling good. Let's get a bit of work done and then have dinner. It's starting to get cold. So I just received an email from a brand that I was working with, and in a previous vlog I showed off the email I got saying that they're going to send me some product, and I accidentally, it was pretty blurry, but I don't think you can see the phone number or email, but apparently you could. And she sent me an email saying, hey, I saw that, you should take it down. I was like, oh, my mistake. So I'm going to have to quickly do that now. And I need to start realizing that as I'm transparently doing these daily vlogs, everything I do and say, I need to be comfortable with everyone in the world seeing it. So I'm literally, you know how there's that saying, live as if you're on a TV show. How would you act? Like I'm literally having to do that. And I guess that's sort of why I feel like daily vlogging forces you to grow so much. Let me solve that issue now and apologize. Hey, person's name. Pretty sure you can't see the email. Yeah, it's pretty exposed, so you can't see anything. Thank you so much for letting me know. Sorry about that. Yes, my team has been managing this other account and been creating clips. I went ahead and talked to them and went through it, and I actually took down the video. Sorry about that. Understand that you're private, and yeah, totally my mistake. It's gone now. You should not be able to see it. If you still see it, or if I've taken down the wrong video, let me know. But I'm pretty sure I got the one that you're referring to, and it's no longer live. Cool. Yeah, quickly solved that. Man, I can't imagine someone like my mentor where he probably has 10 of these mini fires that he has to urgently put out consistently, where he has to context switch, fix that issue before he can go about his day. Because my usual routine is after I work out, I spend 10 minutes to upload videos on Instagram. I do some chores, I clean up all the equipment that I brought out for the exercising. But because I saw this notification, and this is quite urgent because I don't want her information there out in the public, I wanted to quickly fix it, delete the video, let her know that I fixed it. So I guess if I know that as I become more successful, these fires are just going to become more and more common, I should just start embracing them and get used to sort of having to context switch and move away and get sidetracked from my usual routine and normalize that. It's so cool. As I'm watching the clips that I'm posting, I'm seeing myself and I'm seeing how I speak, and I'm like, hey, I want to learn to speak faster with more clarity. So I'm forcing myself to just get better and better as I'm constantly self-watching myself. It reminds me of League of Legends, where when I wanted to really improve, what all the pros used to do is they would record their gameplay and re-watch it to see the mistakes they can improve on. And that's what I'm literally doing. Like I'm literally looking at me 36 hours ago and giving myself feedback on how I want to carry myself. And it's reflected in today's vlog. So it's crazy fast feedback loop, self-improving setup I have. Man, imagine if I keep this up for 1 year, daily vlogging. I realize a lot of my clips are quite vulnerable as I'm sharing these very honest thoughts. And it's quite embarrassing if my friends were to see them, but I think it's a good thing. They don't usually get to see this side of me in person. So it's cool that they get to experience it through my social media and get to know that side of me. And it could maybe subconsciously nudge them or have them grow in a different direction, where when we next meet up, they're already pre-primed with this version of me. And they might surprisingly want to talk about, deep topics that I usually talk about on these vlogs. And I might be like, whoa, we usually just talk shit about other people and yap and talk about meaningless things. I'm quite surprised that you're taking the conversation this direction, but it's all thanks to these clips that they're watching and they're seeing and learning from this different side of me. And another cool thing is I'm looking at all these different thoughts and decisions I'm making 36 hours ago, and I could actively see, hey, was that a good decision? Do I change my mind? Do I want to stick through it? Like, for example, I'm watching a video on how I want to wear all my dead stock Rolexes and take them out of storage and actually use them and devalue them by $4,000. That's what I wanted at the time, but I think now looking back 36 hours later, I was just highly influenced by watching a lot of Iman Gadzhi, where I was like, man, I want to start rocking all my 3-4 different Rolexes. My mama has a 5th one. But after 36 hours, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy with the one that I wear. I'd rather keep those 3 brand new and not devalue them by using them. Yes, they're cool. Yes, they're nice, but I don't like, I can spend 4K in better ways. I can buy like a nice, cool vintage watch that I really, really love secondhand, and that would probably hold its value and not lose money, to be honest. So there's smarter ways I can go about it. So it's cool how I'm I don't know, is it retroactively, or now that I'm 36 hours into the future, I can look at these clips and decisions and thoughts that I've made 36 hours ago and see if I want to stick to it, change it. Whereas if I wasn't vlogging, I wouldn't be reviewing my decisions 36 hours later, and I'd either 1, forget about the decision I made, or 2, not consciously change the decision I made. Okay, time to have dinner. I'm gonna try, let's put in a conceited effort to try eat in silence. It's been a long, it's not, actually it hasn't been a long day. I started at 2, so it's a shorter day, but I'm starting to feel tired. My energy is dipping. I'm like craving dopamine more and more. But I was like, I consciously saw how I was going down this negative rabbit hole. And I was like, let me go to what I said yesterday. Let me find the silver lining. This is a good challenge to see if I can resist the urge to consume some YouTube doom scroll, constantly look at my notifications, and let me try eat in silence despite being mentally exhausted. This is going to be a good challenge. Like, if I can do it in this state, then in a positive, full of energy state, it'll be even easier. And I'm going to be using you guys to help me. So I'm going to try challenge myself. It's going to be a good challenge of me trying to just eat in silence. I'm going to be talking to you to keep me distracted. I'll make dinner now. I was procrastinating for dinner. I was watching a bit of videos, but let's eat in silence. I feel like this is the challenge that I need to do to get me to that next level. The version of me that is able to just be present in life, where I'm not constantly fiending on my phone, looking at notifications, being a workaholic. And if I'm able to just be present, man, I think I could get everything I dream for if I can manifest that version of me. And given my big goal for August, how I want to hit 30K this month, let's... Oh, what's that? Some black stuff on the floor. Yeah, sticky. Since I want to manifest that big goal, I'm going to have to be a completely different version of me. The version of me that's making 30K a month is through creating content and doing what he loves, is a completely different version of me now. So one way to trigger that new version of me is doing something drastic, such as just quitting consuming, watching anything during dinner. Because I think majority of people watch YouTube videos, listen to a podcast, watch Netflix while having dinner. So if I cannot do that, not only will I be a different, hopefully better version of myself, but I'm now going to be in the outlier. And if I want to get outlier results financially, I got to do outlier activities such as eating dinner in silence. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm playing some music on my speakers. That's sort of to supplement some of the dopamine and keep me sort of not too bored. I was just thinking of how over the last 2 months I've tried quitting. And I've gone like 48 hours, multiple days, where I officially quit content consumption, and I would rebound hard. But every time I quit, as I mentioned earlier, it increases the chance that the next time I quit will be the last time. So hopefully this is the last time, and if it's not, it's going to help the next time. So I'm doing this for future Andy. I was thinking about how now my friends are starting to get to the age where they're getting married, and I'm definitely going to get a bunch of requests to be, one of their groomsmen. And, the people-pleasing side of me, it's like, say yes to everyone. But I can tell how there's people that if I said yes to, they'd really appreciate that, they'd be grateful. And if I said no, they're actually going to be disappointed, let down. And there's other people who, if I say yes, they're going to be happy, it's cool. But if I said no, because I was busy, they would respect me more. They would value me more. This is something I'm starting to learn, how with certain people, saying no is a better outcome for the relationship I have for that person. And with certain people, I can tell that it's like, hey, if I say no, I'm going to let them down dearly. So let me not say no to these people. But the people pleasing inside of me doesn't want to let this group of people down initially. But in the long run, that no, and me just focusing on me and not going on that weekend trip to be the groomsman for the wedding, blah, blah, the relationship would be actually more stronger, just because, like, I'm not looking for people's respect. I don't want someone to respect me more, but it's ironic how sometimes respect is gained or created upon saying no, and how saying yes doesn't gain you respect. It gains you temporary appreciation, if not any. So that's the new paradigm that I've been thinking about over the last 24 hours. My brain feels clearer. I feel way more calm. Like, I know, usually when I'm having dinner, like after I finish, my brain would be quite cloudy and I have brain fog. And I think it's due to the dopamine, the binge consuming of content. But as I'm sort of eating in silence, my brain feels clear. I feel peaceful. I feel connected to the universe. I'm just thinking of how back in the hunter and gatherer days, people would hunt and eat food in nature. They'll sit down around on rocks and cook up a meal and just sit in nature and eat. And how I'm pretty sure after that dinner, they didn't have brain fog. They felt at peace and ready to like have a nap and dream about the universe. So yeah, that's the current thought so far as I'm trying to eat in silence. Let's keep it up. I found another way to better word this new era that I'm going to be testing. I'm going to be moving and making decisions based on what I believe is going to be best for the relationship I have with that specific person, versus being myself, treating people how I'd want to be treated. The first option is what I'm now going to be doing a lot more of. Figuring out, okay, in this dynamic with this person, what's going to lead to the best harmonious relationship between us? And unfortunately, that's going to require me, certain people need me to be busy. Certain people need me to be mean. Certain people need me to not offer them help and only help when they ask. Certain people need me to play hard to get. Certain people need me to ignore them. And ironically, by ignoring them, it leads to a more harmonious relationship. So for the person I ignore, if I were to reply to them all the time, say yes to them, I'm not going to be happy because I don't want to spend time with them, but I'm just doing it because I'm treating them how I'd want to be treated. Versus, let me just know that, hey, like, distance is required, but distance, ironically, will allow us to survive for the next 20 years as friends. Whereas being close now temporarily makes them happy, but the relationship will crumble down and break because now there isn't the respect. Like, I'm busy, I'm going out of my way to reply to your stream of messages because I don't want to leave you hanging. And because I'm accommodating you, you don't even respect, you ironically respect me less compared to when I'm ignoring you. So we're both losing. That person is not respecting me, and I'm going out of my way to, like, instead of doing what I love, which is my work and sticking to my routine, I'm going out of my way to accommodate them and respond to them. So both parties are losing. So yeah, that's a different way of wording this new phase, a new chapter that I'm going to try out, and I have high hopes for it. As I'm sitting down eating in silence, I'm processing my thoughts. I'm thinking of a bunch of different things that's on my mind. That I lose out on all that processing time when I'm just distracted watching a YouTube video. And I feel like an extra 2 hours of processing every day, just thinking about things. And then once you refine a thought, writing it down, journaling, recording it on a video, doing a voice note on the thought you just had. If I did this all year, I'd be I'll level up so many times. This is just the first time eating in silence in a long time. So I told my social media tracker to use a new script. She was struggling to install this script, this app I built for her, but I told her to figure it out. Because what the script did was when she pasted all the edits we did onto our Excel sheet, it would embed the link to each edit where we can click on it and go to the Trello card with the video, the description, everything. So we wouldn't have to manually search the title on Trello and try to find the card. So it would embed the link into every video we tracked. And I knew that, hey, this was just valuable extra information, but I didn't see, like, I knew it would be valuable in the future, that future Andy would appreciate that we did this. But I didn't know how I'd make use of it then and there, but I did it anyways. And guess what, today, a new thing I'm going to do is as I distribute edits that my AI clipper did to my human editors, I'm going to train them and tell them to search up on the Excel sheet the project I gave them, see the most viewed AI clips that came from that, and use that as a baseline and inspiration. Look at what performed well and recreate it, make a better version of it. And because I created this embed linked extra step, it wasn't an extra step, my tracker, she just needed to install this new app that did that for me, and I actually put in time to build the updated Trello to Excel sheet sort of integrator. Because the link is embed, now my editors can simply click on the link, go to the Trello card and see the exact video that got, say, 5,000 views. So it's quite cool how a lot of the things I'm doing now, for example, me trying to get off my addiction on constantly needing dopamine while eating, or stacking dopamine with eating and not being able to sit in silence. Right now it just feels like the right thing. There isn't really a big catalyst that or need to get this done right here, right now. But I have a feeling that if I figure this out now, figure out this addiction, solve this problem now, that future Andy's going to appreciate it. Just like how future Andy really appreciated that past Andy spent some time to code a better version of the Trello to Excel sheet integrator and forced my tracker, Liza, to figure out how to install it on her Windows computer. And she did, and now like I'll be able to, like, future, I'm like, thank God I did that, because it's going to help me with this next step. And I also think all these videos, it would have been just like one-off talking head videos, but now it's all encapsulated into this one bigger picture within this vlog. So I'm so grateful for this vlog. But also I practice a lot of my talking skills with those one-off talking head videos. But it's going to be so cool to just store and have all these daily thoughts. You can see how I grow eventually. Since I'm saving the transcription from each one of these days, eventually I can easily put all the transcriptions from every single daily vlog, put it all in an Excel sheet, and like have an AI clipper just combine moments from the 1st of August to the 30th of August, showing me stressed, not knowing how to make money, and then cutting to me closing a big giant deal. And it could piece it all together. AI is going to get that smart. But yeah, the future looks bright. That's a quote from Patrick Bet-David. I'm sitting here munching and just processing my thoughts. It's crazy how a few hours ago I was dreading this impossible task of eating in silence, and right now I'm so grateful. I feel so at peace and so happy. It's always, you dread working out, but you do it and afterwards you're so happy and grateful that you did it. Then the next day you forget how doing that hard thing led to such a satisfying, fulfilling feeling. But you push through it again and again and again, and eventually it becomes second nature. You're like, do this and I know future Andy is going to be happy. I was just thinking, if I was on an interview and I was at a point where there was a lot of people that were consuming my content and what I said had a huge influence on people. And let's say the interviewer was like, hey Andy, have you ever tried drugs? How would I go about answering that question? I was running through the different scenarios in my head on the way I'd answer that. Everything from, well, I definitely want to take, there's the approach of lying and saying no. There's the approach of saying yes. But you say yes and now you might have influenced some kid to do it because you said yes and now they die because they took some drugs that were laced with things that caused them to die. How do I answer this question? Because I don't want to lie, I don't want to give an answer and then get cancelled or like disappoint a large amount of people. How would I go about it? And the simple conclusion I came to is answer the question as if your son asked that question. If my son said, hey, Dad, have you tried drugs before? How would I answer that to my son? I'd probably tell my son, yes, I have. but I don't want to recommend it to you, especially at your young age. You know, there's so many case studies of people getting addicted to a lot of these substances and their life gets ruined. And these drugs, these substances are addictive. Also, furthermore, a lot of these drugs, you don't know what's in it. If they're not scientifically made in a lab, they're usually done in some cheap caravan and you can get something that would kill you. But I know that if I say no, don't do it, stay away from it, it's going to make you want to do it more, son. So I'm not going to say that. I just want you to be safe. Never do something that you feel pressured to do, because especially if it's a mind-altering substance, if you're taking it in a space out of pressure, peer pressure, you don't feel safe, you're going to have a bad effect, so avoid doing that. And if possible, just avoid it in general. I think that would be my answer. So like the answer I gave to my son is quite PR friendly. I feel like I could say that, and if I had 1 million viewers, I feel like that's a pretty good answer, hopefully. We'll see. Or maybe I'll get cancelled. Now, what happens if my son then says, well, Dad, if that's the case, why did you do drugs then? And then I'd answer, one, son, actually, like I've tried it a handful of times. It's not something I got addicted to and was consistently doing. I just did it a handful of times. I think the reasons why was, one, I wanted to see what this substance that a lot of people have done and didn't die from experience. I was just curious. I wanted to know. Two, I did it at a much older age, where when you do it at a young age, you can, your brain isn't fully formed and you'll get addicted to it. You don't have that self-discipline and that logic in you yet. Three, there were people that I trusted, people that were really smart, people that were ahead of me, that were the ones that introduced it to me. So it was from trusted sources. Like, these were people that were super smart, you know, top 5 percentile, worked in a big 4 bank or corporation, and they were doing it, and they're like, hey Andy, did you want to try some? And I felt like I felt safe. It was a safe environment, and that's how I tried it. So I guess, son, that's to answer why, but if possible, I'd like you to avoid it, son. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good answer. This is cool. Like, I'm practicing PR right now. I'm trying to PR train myself as we speak. That's so funny. I'm so happy and grateful for these clips and these thoughts and this podcast and this medium, because it's allowing me to be truly 100% me. You know, all the time I spend chatting with my friends and other people, I'm adapting and matching them and meeting them where they're at. But this is something that's truly for me, and I'm just being fully me. And it's like, it's so cool. People are going to be able to see, it's cool that people will be able to see the real me through these videos and clips. And I think there was a quote from Naval Ravikant: escape competition through authenticity. And I think this is what is going to allow me to escape competition through authenticity, because I'm being the most authentic version of me here. Gonna eat some fish. There's so many bones in this fish. All right, let's keep eating. The thinking time that I'd usually get only when I'm driving, I'm like getting now. I'm thinking about a bunch of different things, different people, different friends, different possible futures, different scenarios. Man, I realized how unique this is. Like, I don't think I've watched anything online that's similar to what I'm doing right now. But I have to go to, I don't want to boost my ego. Like, I think this is such a cool, unique thing that I'm creating, but at the same time, I'm doing this for me. If no one watches it, completely fine. I had a thought of a message, voice message I want to send to my friend Raymond, and I'm going to share it with you guys as well. I recently had a thought on how I transitioned from being a people pleaser and doing what I knew people would want to no longer being people pleaser and saying no and explaining myself. And me explaining myself and trying to sort of soften the no was in itself a people pleasing trait. And I think I'm now going to transition to either not replying or just saying no and not explaining myself. Because me explaining myself, trying to explain why I can't do that, me trying to give alternative, that's me trying to just continue people pleasing. And I think, yeah, this third level is no more self-explanation for me being me and doing the things I want. I'm going to post that video I want. I'm going to do that thing I'm going to want. I'm not going to do that thing I don't want to do. No explanation. But the only reason I can do it is because I provide so much value to people around me, where it puts me in a position where I can do that, and they're still going to be in my life because I give so much. I give more than I take. If you're a taker and you do that, people are just going to cut you off. But because I am such a nice, considerate, thoughtful person, it gives me the ability to do this. Check this out. Someone emailed me showing interest in my studying.com domain. So I just replied, please offer. They were like, hello, I'd be interested in buying studying.com. Are you looking to sell by any chance? Can you let me know your desired price? Please offer. That's it. If they're not serious, then they wouldn't reply. If they're serious, they'll give me an offer. So as I'm eating in silence, I feel myself being full and I'm going to stop eating soon and just cling wrap the leftovers I have. Whereas previously I would have kept eating while watching something, telling myself, let's keep watching until I finish eating. So I use the food as an excuse to keep consuming content. Two, my mind is so free and I'm like sending messages to my team members, to friends, different things I think about. Like I've unlocked all this extra time. I was just thinking about how everything happens for a reason. Everything is in God's plan. Cool, let's wrap this up. To be honest, I am still a bit hungry. So I'll slowly munch. But I feel good. Like I feel like I'm ready to go back to work and crush it. So what I thought would have been an unproductive day, waking up 2 p.m. Today's probably been the biggest positive shift. But to be honest, I feel like it took day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those 5 days of vlogging, 4 days of vlogging to get to this breakthrough that I'm having right now on today. And you guys saw the whole journey. A fun caveat to all this vlogging and filming is that I'm hunting for like these viral moments. It's like Pokemon, where you're sort of hunting for rare Pokemons. I'm hunting for viral moments that can get millions of views. I can just re-clip and create a bunch of different variations from. And the more I film, it increases the chance of me finding that viral moment. And that's sort of what it's like being a comedian. You're just testing a bunch of different jokes and you're finding that one joke, that one concept that bangs every time, and you work on it, you make it better and better. And you sort of just, it's like you throw a bunch of darts at a dartboard and one just hits the bullseye. That's the addictive part and the fulfilling part of this long form vlogging. And you know what makes it more unique? Not anyone can do this. Like, who can freaking freestyle and pump out 90 minutes of raw, condensed, nothing but valued nuggets every single day? Like, it's just, I have a unique brain where I have all these thoughts constantly flowing. So this is something that uniquely only I can do. So once I figure this out and this becomes a successful thing, not many people are going to be able to copy it. Not many people are built like this. Man, that was cool. I ate dinner in silence. I feel good, man. I feel recharged. I feel rested. Compared to every other day, it's like, oh, I should now go to work. Like, look, I have more energy somehow. Oh, so this is the first day of me eating in silence and not consuming content. All right, let's get to work. Like, I'm excited to work now. But I also need to remember that, hey, even if I don't get a viral clip, even if no one watches this, I'm doing this for me. And it's a win if I don't get a bunch of views anyway. I was just thinking of how I feel so good right now, and it's such a huge juxtaposition on how I woke up. Like, I woke up tired, groggy, headache, and now I feel amazing. I slept at 6 a.m. yesterday, pushing through a tough day, doing 9 hours despite it being, maybe 8 hours despite it being a grind of a day. Woke up at 2 p.m. and here we are. Well, I've only done 3-4 hours of work, but let's try get some more work done and sleep early, maybe. No pressure, right? Lower importance, don't put pressure on certain outcomes. Why is this focusing on my eye? I noticed that I was easier to get off the doom scrolling hamster wheel because I wasn't scrolling and I was just embracing silence. I regained willpower through dinner. I think that's what it is. You gain willpower through just sitting in silence, sitting with your thoughts. That's how you recharge your willpower. And when you're consuming content, doom scrolling, getting all that stimuli, you're reducing your willpower. We've been bred up in this world where we're really used to short-term goals, but I've had these long-term fitness goals: run a sub-3 marathon, do a handstand push-up. I guess those are the main two goals, and just general longevity. And these are things that I'm not looking to hit in the next 6 months, 12 months. Like, I want to hit these things in the next 5 years. Like, there's no rush, and as a result, I'm able to build this strong, long-lasting foundation. Because I'm spending one day working on my handstand push-up related exercises. I'm spending a day focusing on my running. I spend a day on just recovery and just stretching. So as you can see, it stretches the whole timeline 3 times longer because I'm literally I'm only working on that one activity every 3rd day. Versus if I had that one goal, I'd be focused on that one goal every single day. But there's no rush. Like, I don't want to hit a sub-3 or a handstand push-up in the next few months. I want to take it slow and steady. I really like my new rule where I won't send a message if that person didn't reply, would give me anxiety. So I was thinking of sending one of my friends conversations with a girl that he recently met and is talking to. It's such a funny response. I wanted to send it to my friend Ed, but I was like, oh, if Ed didn't reply to me, I'd be thinking too much. So that's a sign I shouldn't send it. It's so good. I've been working, it's 11:02 p.m. and my brain is clear. Like, I'm doing confusing work and I'm able to see the problem clearly. Wow. is this a result of eating in silence of dinner? Because if so, I'm gonna need to make this a permanent change. Like, I feel good. I haven't even finished the day, and I exported all the clips I filmed on this camera today so far from 2 p.m. to 11. And since I've been sharing so many thoughts and I've been tripling down on the content, I already got 40 freaking gigabytes, which is insane. Yeah, but I need more clips. I'm running out of clips, so this is good. I'm like impressed how high my willpower is. Like, I was literally thinking of the song TBH by Party Next Door, and I wanted to search up and check out the music video because I was just vibing to the song. And I could just see my thoughts being like, hey, let's not get distracted, focus on my current work. Maybe it's the 2 hours, not only because I'm eating in silence, not only because I'm not wasting my time rotting my brain consuming content, but I'm actually thinking, I'm processing, I'm letting my brain rest and scatter and just chill and think and explore. And maybe that's what's increasing and recharging my willpower. I'm filming this to keep me accountable. 12 a.m. hit and my motivation just dipped. I was like doom scrolling the last 16 minutes, but I snapped out of it. I'm filming this video, so this is going to keep me accountable. Let me go brush my teeth, freshen up, and then finish off the rest of the day. I'm ahead of schedule. Well, I guess it's midnight, so not really, but yeah, I'm not going to be sleeping at 6 a.m. today, I believe. Let's push. I have faith. I got my retainers on, so I might sound funny, but I want to build an extra feature on my AI clipper where once it gets the transcripts of, man, my hair looks good, of the video that it's clipping, it can pull the information on everything that's within that video and create a YouTube title that has longevity, that is evergreen. So I went ahead and I screenshotted the most viewed Logan Paul and Casey Neistat videos, and I'm going to ask it to study it. So here, I'll show you what I'll do. Here are the most viewed videos on Casey Neistat and Logan Paul's YouTube channel, and I believe these videos are super evergreen. And based on the title, it is designed to be so. I want to create a new feature. I don't know if it's possible, but upon transcribing the video, another task I want you to run on the side is that I want you to run the transcription of everything that is said in the video, and if there's no transcription, then reference the project file name and maybe the YouTube file name as well. And come up with a bunch, maybe 10 different YouTube titles modeled after what Casey Neistat and Logan Paul has done. So I don't know if you want to put it on an Excel sheet on all the YouTube titles, and if you need more data, I can give you more screenshots. But I guess can you guide me on the best way to do this? The end goal that I want you to get me to is with every single video that you upload to YouTube and you clip, you cut, you give me the best performing possible YouTube title for that specific video, modeled after the success of these other YouTube videos title. So I'm going to give that to Codex and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. I'm going to also give it David Dobrik's top videos. Here is another extra source of information, David Dobrik's top videos. Okay, let me read its answer. Against how the video performed, so you can statistically know what headline is better, what YouTube title is better than others. Let me know if you need more screenshots of more headlines with more view counts so you can get more data points. I can give you that. So yeah, probably just upload the YouTube video with just the YouTube name that I manually put in, or if it's empty, default to the project name, and then upon being uploaded, I'll go in and I'll manually edit and pick the best 3. Please let me know your thoughts. So I'm like working with Codex to come up with a framework and system. This is something I'm manually doing, but I've noticed I've been manually doing it every day, and I think it would be really, really beneficial to have the AI clipper do it for me. If I put in the hard work now, future Andy is going to be grateful that past Andy put in the work to figure it out. Probably better to not use the clips log, because I know the clips log is specifically for clips. This is a completely different process, so maybe we can create a new data sheet for YouTube title recommendations. Yeah, create a core YouTube title reference, I agree. Go ahead and build this. Now before I let it build this, let me back up the current AI clip because it works perfectly and I don't want to lose it. Because when I make changes like this, it could stuff things up. That's why I don't want it and I'm lazy, but you got to do the hard thing. I do it now and then future Andy is going to be like so grateful, but man, the clipper, from what I see, it's going to rank. It will give a scoring with each possible YouTube title for that video. All right, let me keep building this out. So I'm going to like Mr. Beast, Airac, all these big accounts and just scraping the title from their most popular YouTube videos. Mr. Beast, yeah, Mr. Beast YouTube titles are probably very Mr. Beast is a great example because his videos are evergreen, they keep getting views. So I should definitely model my titles after his. Okay, so here are a bunch of more images with all those different creators so we can add that data in. I'm actually thinking about, is it possible for you to screenshot or take the thumbnail and create a thumbnail column for each one of those videos, and we can store the thumbnails in a way where in the future, once image creation gets much better, I'd eventually want to build a tool where I can give you multi images of my face and you can help build using AI generate thumbnails for that specific video to match that title that we created. But I think right now image creation isn't too good yet, but I want to build a foundation so that when image creation gets really well, not only will you generate YouTube titles for me, but you can also generate YouTube thumbnails for me. And furthermore, we want to build a foundation of like the prompt. Like right now, we will use version 1 prompt to create the YouTube titles for these videos. And then eventually, I want to be tracking to see the views that we get from each of these YouTube uploads. And then we can then know that, okay, these are all the results from version 1 prompt. And then we'll create version 2, 3, 4, and then we can compare the click-through rates, the amount of views, etc. But that's the future. So we want to build the foundation for that. So as you can see, I'm really thinking long term. Like yes, right now I only need a title generator, but I want to build the foundation for that future that I shared with you guys, where eventually I'll use the app to even make the titles, the thumbnails, track the views, create a flywheel effect where it will track to see how well those videos went, and it can see which videos did best, which videos did worse, look at the thumbnails and titles for those videos, maybe compare click-through rates, and then self-improve based on that data. So that's the long-term app I'm building. Look at this, this is crazy. I created this Excel sheet with all the YouTube title, Mr. Beast, the amount of views, approximate views per year, logarithmic amount of views, duration, second, what was in the title, wow, exclamation marks, capital letters, also screenshots of the thumbnail, the different average views for the different sort of last to leave, reward, time limit, age range. Man, this analysis is crazy. I'm very excited to see how it then applies that to my YouTube videos. If it also creates similar epic YouTube titles like that, we shall see. Man, my social media is going to blow up as I collect more and more data. So let's test it. Could you test it on this project? This was a project that I uploaded last night, and we've already combined it, clipped it. So there's already the JSON file and the transcript. Go ahead and use the JSON file or transcript or whatever you may need to come up with those titles and put those titles in like a file within this folder. So this would be a great way to test it. And then I guess if once that works, then we can build that into the app itself. Okay, it took 13 minutes, but it finished. I'm gonna go shower while it does its thing. So what it's doing, yesterday's video was like, here, let me see, I'll show you. Yesterday's video, 1 hour and 4 minutes. And here is a transcript of all the words, the subtitles basically. And now the clipper, the tool, should use all the best titles in the whole of YouTube to come up with epic headlines here. These are some pretty good titles. Check this out, the titles it came up with. The best 3. 4,500 payroll came down to 1 cent. Pulling 5 a.m. all-nighter to finish payroll. I've no idea how I'll make payroll next month. And it's like ranked and there's a scoring for each title. That is so impressive. Wow. These are some epic titles. And it's scored based on the data we have. Like I literally scraped all the best YouTube channels, Ryan Trahan, Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat, Logan Paul, all their most viewed videos. And we're using that to figure out how to figure out the best, yeah, YouTube titles. This is epic. Awesome, you did a great job. This is perfect. Can you now stitch it into the app where when I load it up with the project, it will follow everything that we talked about. Let me know if you have any questions that I might need to answer. If not, you can go ahead and do it where I can load in a project tonight and tomorrow it will A, stitch the folder together if needed, stitch it to create a combined file. 2, it will create all the clips. 3, it will also upload it to YouTube videos. Upload it to YouTube. And for number 2, it will create the clips and add it to Trello board. But number 4 now is that it will also within the folder that, within the same source folder, I'll put in the text file of the YouTube titles that you recommend. So that's going to be the flow of the AI app I have. Vibe coding is so addictive, like I can literally just sit here for like the next hour vibe coding it out. But let me go shower, have a break, and let me push forward throughout the day because I have a few more things I need to do before I can go sleep. So I've been working, it's 2:36 a.m. So I'm sort of ahead yesterday. Well, yesterday I slept at 6 a.m. so I can't lose to that. A bit uncomfortable because I'm wearing my braces and my teeth hurt because I haven't worn it for like 2 weeks. I'm thinking about, so I have eczema and I get itchy quite often. And I realize that when I'm just calm and peaceful, that it's less itchy. Inflammation occurs from stress. So I need to learn to just be more zen. I was talking to an old team member. I was telling her how I believe that everything happens for a reason. Everything's in God's plan. And she talked about how she's been through a lot when she lost her full-time job. Like she worked on me like casually, and then she had another full-time job and she lost that. And she got into debt and she prayed to God and yeah, he did not fail her. She got a brand new full-time job. So I'm very, very motivating to hear that. I also want to just have faith and, pray. Dear Lord, dear universe, dear God, I pray that you allow me to keep serving you in the best way possible. I promise and I pray to continue to listen to you. I pray for the beautiful life where you have me be the most productive person on your behalf possible. Amen. What started out to be a day that I thought wouldn't be productive ended up being a very solid 8-hour day. The new YouTube titles system I built, that's a huge step forward. Yeah, it just shows that even on your tired days, if you go at it slow and steady, 1, you can see your mood and energy just shoot through by the end of the day. 2, if you don't give up and you actually take that day with your hands, you end up with great discoveries. Everything from me eating in silence, everything from me doubling down on the vlog and sharing just way more thoughts, the YouTube title system. Man, I can't even remember. I feel like I did so much today, even though I woke up at 2 p.m., which is insane. That is insane, waking up at 2 p.m. Yeah. You saw it. You saw the whole day. So let me track the time, close a bunch of tabs, and then read. It's nearly 3 a.m., so I'm going to This is probably the earliest I've slept in like a week. I've been sleeping 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Man, the retainers are making my teeth hurt. Check this out. Ever since I started daily vlogging, it's been the most productive run I've had in a long time. Check that out. I'm just back to back 10, 9 hours, 11 hours, 9 hours, 9 hours, 7 hours. And as you can see previously, there's a lot of red, sort of red means before under 7 hours. See how it's not consistent, and bam, daily vlogging. Super duper consistent. Yeah, crazy. To be honest, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work on days where I have like other activities. I guess I'll just go home early and work from 10 p.m. till 4 a.m. to get what I need done, I guess. I don't know how, as you can see on my monitor, I've been manifesting August 2026, $30,000 a month. I don't really like the sponsorship route anymore, but I've been manifesting this figure for like a whole year, or since the beginning of the year. So the last 7, 8 months. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I have a feeling that my Facebook and YouTube revenue is going to go through the roof. I pray that God gives me what I need. I have a friend coming over in Sydney, and I'm going to do a lot of traveling when she's here. And I want to be in a financial position where I can not cover everything, but make sure those around me, those that near me, don't have to pay for a single thing. So God, universe, if you give me that, know that I'm not going to let it go to waste. I have a lot of trips coming up. Snow trip, Thailand, South Australia, EDC. And I want to be in a position where I can just pay for people and not have to think. Like, I want to be generous. So, universe, God, please help me with the ability to be generous. Help me be generous, film more content of my generosity, to create even more money. And with the more money, I want to give more and just create this beautiful flywheel effect. Hopefully, I'm not like peeking my microphone. Testing. So I'm reading this book called The Better Angels of Our Nature, and I'm up to a chapter where they're talking about all the things that humans did to torture animals, mouse, pigs, monkeys. Like, they would cut monkeys up alive, and the monkeys would make these crazy faces. Man, it just reminded me how lucky I am to be alive, how lucky I am to live in the 21st century. Like, hearing and reading these stories, it's like, that is crazy. Like, how lucky am I to be born a human? In the Bible, they talk about how God made humans to rule over all the animals in the world. Crazy read. This is like real stories of like how humans used to just like shock pigeons, shock mouses, and just kill a bunch of animals in the name of research. I'm reading, but reading very slowly. Like, I'm not tired enough to fall asleep because I've been used to sleeping at 6 a.m. about 5 a.m. and it's only 3:30 a.m. But I'm not tired enough to sleep, but I'm tired enough where I'm like struggling to read quickly. It's that weird limbo. Let me go to the restroom and reset. Oh, my teeth hurt. It is 4 a.m. I've been doom scrolling the last 20 minutes. Luckily, I have this to help me stop. Yeah, it's so awesome that I get to talk to you guys, and you guys help me with, these addictions. Let's get back to reading. 4 a.m. Huh. All right, I read 31 pages. Gonna head to sleep now. It's 4:33, so better than 6 a.m. I'm improving each day. Hopefully I can get it lower and lower. I need to get stronger at fighting through that
night doom scroll where my willpower is like all time low and I spent time just doom scrolling. I'm getting better and better. Today was a good day. Can't complain. And hopefully I need more clips. Like I need more posts. So today's episode is going to generate a ton of clips because I filmed so many thoughts, and hopefully I can carry this on to tomorrow. Peace. Good night, guys.